Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Bedrock, Season 5. I am your host, Gunman1125, and in today's episode, we have a lot to do. Okay, we're picking up right where we left off. I'm actually going to be in the base most of the time today, other than perhaps making the gold farm we were talking about last episode. I'm hoping to get that done, but okay, bear with me here. Alright, so we need honey for our door. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm trying to get set up. So I need to get all my passive farms set up into here. Okay, and how we're going to accomplish this? Let me get a rocket and fly. You really don't know like how big this pyramid is until you decide to fly around with it. And it takes you more than one tier 3 rocket to get to the top of it. The top of the pyramid, not the mountain. Anyway, this is the center point. Okay, the point in which I will be AFKing. Around me shall be a huge sorting system. I think I'm going to do a few silos of storage with regular filters, and then I think I'm going to do 2 modules of categorized storages to where I can store any item in Minecraft. That I can that I get. So like if I come down here and I open up this chest, literally I can sort out all of these items in this chest except for the non-stackables, which I'll have to do manually. However, that's not terribly a big deal. There's really no way around that. I've been looking through. Me and Hammer have both been trying to figure out a good one item sorter or single stack item sorter, and with no prevail, you know. So yeah. But what we gotta do is we gotta get honey and place it like so. But in all the gaps there. Right, let me make sure I didn't break anything. Of course not. Of course not. I'm a redstone genius myself. But yeah, so, and how I'm accomplishing this is I'm gonna make the honey farm pretty much the same honey farm that we did last season. Because it was so effective, designed I believe by Silent Whisperer, which the link will be in the description below. But for right now, we're gathering bees. Right? Ooh, more honey. So an important thing to know about bees, you always want to have an airlock. That's what I call it. Because you don't want these bees to be out and about, right? And you always want to make sure that you have the campfire underneath to smoke them out. That way they don't attack you whenever you're collecting your honey. Okay? And then I'm pretty much just coming in here. I'm breeding these bees as much as I can. Trying to grow them quickly. Yes. And we'll come down here in a little bit and make sure once it turns nighttime, right, bees all go back in their hive. So if there's any left over, we know that all these beehives are full. Okay? And we can start harvesting them. Oh, wait a minute, hold on a second, I can't be leaving this honey. But anyway, so once we have pretty much all 5 of these full, I'll leave 3 of them in here and then just keep removing 2 and recycling 2 and then 2 and then 2 until I get about, I think, 10 full beehives, and then we'll be able to craft our farm. But the most important part is going to be up there at the spawning area, and I'm trying not to sleep because I need a phantom, because in the last episode, if you don't remember, or if you weren't there, we have this quest from Joe's Quest shop. Brew and drink a levitation potion, difficulty 7, lifted spirits. And how you make a levitation potion is quite simple. First, you have to make a slow falling potion. There we go. But for that, I need a phantom membrane. I haven't slept in like 8 days, and still no phantoms have spawned. Let's go outside. And for phantoms to spawn, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is a good little mechanics course. You cannot be standing underneath a solid block. If you're standing underneath a solid block, they should not be able to spawn. However, that's finicky, and I don't believe it. I think it's an old wives' tale, right? So underneath the pyramid, they'll spawn inside the pyramid because technically stairs are not solid blocks. I've been attacked by phantoms in here before, but just to play it safe, I like to just stand outside during the nighttime. And I've literally not slept, I swear, in like 8 days, and still no phantoms are spawning. Hopefully they'll spawn here for all of us to be able to see. But yeah, so let me do this real quick. I gotta take a break to try to get some phantom membranes, and I'll bring you right back. Well, it turns out you guys are good luck for me, because I have required Phantom membrane. Let's put the quest right here. Okay, so already got a mundane potion in there, an awkward whatever. So I'm gonna throw in the phantom membrane. I'm gonna get my fermented spider eye ready to go. I'm going to cash in or put in all these things. I don't need them right now. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just gonna throw all that stuff in there. Wait, I needed those books. I really want to start trying to do more. Slow falling. We throw in the fermented spider eye. We throw in the fermented spider eye. Hold on one second. Okay, so I think Bean who made the quest, right? Gramps is Bean. Lifted spirits. If we look at it, by Gramps. I think he got a little confused because I saw this article as well saying if you take a slow falling potion and put a fermented spider, I give you push levitation. I messaged Joe because this was an emergency. Definitely. I DM'd him on Discord and he informed me to just make it a slow falling potion to complete the quest. So we are going to take the slow falling potion. We're going to throw the bottle away. We'll pick it up because we actually need that for the bee farm. But yes, and then we fall. Yay. We're falling. It feels like I'm on the moon. Now I'm fast and I fall slow. Okay. But anyway. Moving on with today's episode. Oh, this is so weird. Come on. Oh, okay. Has to do with this spot right here, our AFK spot. And to explain a little bit more about our AFK spot and how I'm kind of mathing it out, so to speak, we're going to go into a creative test world. Okay, so on our server, we have the simulation distance set to 6 chunks. Okay? Maybe I'll know that one. Okay, there we go. Alright. So if I stand here, which is my AFK block, okay, I need to know how far around me in every direction in a circle. There's not really a circle, it's more like it kind of cuts itself off. But anyway, we'll mark it out when we get to our base. I can do this. So if I click this button and those lights start lighting up, you will notice that, let me see if I can actually, what is it called? Scope. What is it? What is that thing called? The spyglass. You'll notice that last one, the last two, isn't lit up. If I go up like this, the last two don't light up. But if I inch my way forward, boop, boop, they both light up. Now if I come back, okay, then I cut it off, you'll notice they all cut off except for the last two. Even though we both know they're not being powered. That's because they're like in suspended animation, if that makes sense. They're like suspension, their action is being suspended by the game because it hasn't ticked that far out yet. So if we inch forward, you will see that, boop, boop, they cut off. So now we need to take a measurement from this block all the way out there to that last two, I reckon. Well, I guess what we need to do is really figure out exactly where these things stop at. So let's actually go ahead and place a block right here. Yeah, we're going to replace that with a redstone. I think that should still work. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. We slap this bad boy on. I'm standing right here. We inch forward. Okay. So we know, as I suspected, that our simulation distance, our border, is this block right here. Okay. This red block. That is our simulation distance, and that is the distance, which is pretty far. So I can have farms all the way out to here, and it goes kind of like in chunks. So like, you know, you go to your 16 blocks in your chunk, and then it'll go like this, and then it'll kind of do this number here. So it's not a perfect circle, and I'm just kind of making an example here, and I think one of them is like 2. We're going to have to pull out the chunk map, and we're going to have to map all this out in our pyramid, so that we understand like how far out we can actually build these farms and how far out they'll actually work, so that we can maximize our efficiency in our pyramid. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this is almost perfect. Okay, because this is 2300 and 3009. So after our experimentation, I counted out those blocks, and it is 103. We'll call it 102 blocks away from this spot in all directions. I'll be able to spawn things in. Okay, or that'll tick and things will actually work. So that's going to be all the way to like from 2400 to 2500 in one direction, and that'll be 2909 in one direction, and then 3109 in the other. So if we actually just fly over here, I think we might even be able to load almost everything in the pyramid. Yeah, so like this would, and we're gonna call it 100. I know I said 103, but we're gonna call it 100 just to be safe. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, this is kind of crazy. I could pretty much build farms all the way out to the border, and again, so it doesn't go all the way over to the corner. It is gonna be like cut off, kind of like this, kind of like following where the river goes. But still, and we'll map that out, like I said. And I'm kind of glad it doesn't go all the way to the end, because I kind of wanted to build the glass border. Okay, cool. I know I hit the wall. I did it on purpose. So yeah, so it's going to be the same on all sides. So it's going to be about like, 15, 20 blocks away from either wall of the pyramid. Including this, I don't think the door will actually be loaded in, but honestly, we don't need to be trying to cut on and actually, the door will be loaded in. But we don't need to be trying to cut on and off or, open and close the door, while we're way over there anyway. So, but the good news is that all these farms in that area, and this is not only, around, this is also like around this way as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some glass, and it's going to be a little bit of a grind, I'm not going to lie. And we're actually going to mark out the horizontal borders. We won't do the vertical. But we might have some, we'll just understand that, hey, like the farther up we go from the border around, the closer in that these farms need to be. Like, so we'll try to make it as vertical as possible if we even decide to do that. For right now, I honestly don't have any plans to make farms that are going to be, way up here at the tippity top. But I mean, we'll probably be able to have, let's see, if it's a 100 block simulation. I mean, I think that was 82 or something. We'll have to like all the way up to 182. So we would technically be able to build things all the way up to about right here and have it actually loaded in. So I mean, that kind of gives you an idea of the sheer scale of the projects that we're going to be doing this season. And I'm super excited to see what we can pack in here. As far as, farms that we don't have at the industrial district, I don't plan on, making another gunpowder farm, another gold farm, another this, another that. But the things small, like, the honey farm, maybe a slime farm, things of that nature, we can do here. Which I'm probably not going to do a slime farm here because it's got to be a certain height, and that does not include the distance from our AFK spot. So we'll probably build just a big slime farm with Hammer somewhere else, maybe at his base or something, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to get busy trying to get this glass circle done, or whatever, the spawn, marking out the spawn chunks, so we can have a better idea of exactly where we can place stuff. And then I actually want to start mapping out our pyramid. So I got the stuff done over at the base. I got all the, the simulation distance chunks mapped out and everything. But before I laid the whole thing out, I really had to just come over here and think a little bit about how I really want to do it, because once we start organizing this thing, it's gonna take quite a while. I've been giving a lot of thought, been doing a lot of research into different like storage systems. I think we're gonna go with, which we'll talk. I'll just talk about it whenever we get over the pyramid. But just to show you what I've been doing over here, I've made a sorter, right, a little upgrade to the system, because I think we're gonna go build a prismarine shop. Over here, just a standard item filter design, everything else running into the cactus. Look at that, 184 levels, insane. I haven't even been AFKing, but I think for like an hour over here, then I've already gotten quite a bit of stuff, and I've already made quite a bit of stuff. So on that note, I'm probably going to craft the rest of this into blocks. We already have quite a bit of sea lanterns to sell, so really, I'm probably going to spend most of this making more prismarine bricks, and then some dark prismarine. Won't be making much of that. It's extremely expensive to make, even for us. Simply because of the sheer amount of dye and stuff that it uses, which we got plenty of black dye, and now we have plenty of prismarine shards. So I'm not really too worried about it, but we can. I don't want to build. I don't want to do a whole shulker if it's not going to sell. So we'll see how they sell. And of course, we'll take orders if need be. But I'm telling you what, man, this thing cranks out the XP though. Like, seriously. Like, if you really, I mean, it's almost better than the, I'm not going to say it's better than the gold farm. I mean, last season, and you'll see this season we're going to do it. I'm probably not going to do it any bigger, but, it'll be over here. It'll probably be the same or near the same design as last season. So it's going to be absolutely nuts how much XP we're going to be having in our levels for sure. But yeah, guys, let me finish crafting this stuff up, and I'll meet you back at the pyramid. Okay, so back at the pyramid, I've actually started to move. As far as like moving everything up to this level, it's not much. I really haven't moved that much, but you can see represented by this blue glass is everything that will be simulated if I stand right here. Okay. So as you can see, it's a very, very vast area that we can actually run things in. That being said, some of the things, like maybe for example, if we want to build a slime farm out here, maybe in one of these chunks, we can, because it won't be simulated unless we go to that specific AFK spot. Because the slime farms, in my experience, are extremely lag heavy, right? You got a lot of entities in there at a time. So we want to try to keep that to a minimum as much as possible. But, as I've said before, I've been doing a lot of thinking, okay, about how I want to organize my storage, how I want to do the base and stuff like that. What do I want to put in here? Where do I want it to go? All of these things. Do I want to make like more levels up? Do I want to make more levels down? All those things. I think what we're gonna do, okay, is we'll have a central storage room, square, right? We'll have some bulk storage modules, like for our sandstone, sand, grass, dirt, all those things, like that. And then in like shulkers, right? I think that'd probably be the best way to do it. So instead of having chest lined up like this, we would actually just have shulkers lined up, so that whenever one is finished filling up, we can just knock it off the wall, and then it'll sort through and then do more. So we'll have we can actually color code them and stuff like that. It would be nice. And that's the plan for the bulk storage. And then in the back walls here, we're actually going to have some multi-item sorters. Still going through many designs on which one I want to do. I'm hesitant to use ones that include minecarts, because we know on the server we've had this minecart glitch. I don't want to spend 8 or 9 hours building a big gold storage system if the minecarts are just going to get stuck and break it anyway. So we're kind of waiting on that to see what's going to happen with that. I don't know. I need to do some research and see if they're actually actively trying to fix that, if it's a server side issue, and we need to send a message to Shockbite and get them to fix it or what. But anyway, so I'm thinking that this side will be agricultural. So we'll have, I think I pulled out my mega base book. Let's see, plans, property, blah blah, return, base plans. Yeah, so you're seeded. So your wheat, your carrot, your beets, your melon and pumpkin, etc. We might have that on one side, and then animals on the other side. So it'll be kind of like like a literal farm. So you have all your agriculture on one side, and then all of your husbandry or animals on the other side. And then we'll probably have a separate area, or we might even make this initial area like a hallway that has all of our colors of wool on it. And then after that, it'll open up more side to side, and you'll have all of your regular farms over here. So, your wheat, like I said, your wheat, carrots, beet, melon, pumpkin will probably be underneath, because we're going to build another smaller melon, pumpkin underneath that'll run straight into the storage. You'll have your wheat farm. Everything's going to run straight into the storage, though. Don't get me wrong. Everything that we have will be collected by water and then pumped into our storage system. We'll also build a honey farm, and then, all the animals. So, like, we're going to try to make a cow and a chicken, and then, of course, a wool. And the B stands for big, right? Melon, pumpkin, small. Wool big, right? And then we'll have our potion brewer, and I think all of our technical stuff is going to go on the opposite end, right, over here. Because I believe this side these two sides of the pyramid, this quarter, I guess you could say, has the most room because of the way the chunks line up. So all these chunks will be loaded all the way up to the corner, but you can see over here where we lose about a chunk of width. on this side, which is fine. I mean, there's obviously plenty of room. But I think this hallway will save for our technical stuff, so maybe we'll put another kelp drive over here. Maybe we'll put down, let's see if I listed anything else. I don't think I did. Nope. Okay. So yeah, we'll do, the kelp farm, and then, maybe some small sugar cane and stuff like that just for us. Bamboo, all that kind of stuff. We'll make over here eventually, little micro farms, I guess you could say. Whereas over in the industrial district, we'll have all the same farms essentially, but they'll be macro, right? They'll be large quantities. The reason why is I can already see myself having to go back and forth to grab paper and other things like that. So why not just make a little micro farm and have like a single row of double chest filled up with that, or shulkers. And then of course we'll have our main hallway over here, and then I'm considering, okay, having this back half be residential, okay, which is where we'll have like, our rooms, armor, tools, and more importantly, all of the, lore stuff, all of our special items that we've been saving from the beginning of this, like, our first music disc we got, I'm saying, our first ominous bottle of potion, which is actually down here, that's the second one, because we like to keep little things like that, and I like to display them. We saved all of our, original tools that we made. I think it's in this one, right? All of our original tools, that we made. All of our ore blocks, which I still need to collect. The two rarest ones, I guess you can say. And things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? We got to do an auto potion brewer, which will be on the technical side. So, I mean, we got a lot of stuff to build in here. And I think I'm going to make a board in the middle of my storage room, or on the back wall or something similar, okay, to the farm wall I had in Season 3. Last season, we were kind of all over the place. We didn't really have, I had it written down, I think, a document or something. But this time, I really don't have a plan. I really don't. I knew I was going to build the pyramid, but I mean, the pyramid, there's not much planning involved. There was a lot of planning in the main entrance, which we're going to finish in this episode for sure. But yeah, it's kind of nuts. Let's see, actually, how far did I get on this honey last night? Yeah, so as you can see, we only need, I think, 1, 2, 5, and then 8 more honey blocks to finish the door. Then we'll be able, okay, alright, it's just a little server, a little tick lag. Alright, but anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to show you and, share with you my plans for the future. We're probably going to be building this out more and more each episode. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily harp on it. Of course, the storage system is going to be a huge episode. That's going to take a while to finish once I figure out which one I want to do. And, of course, every single microfarm will be displayed in the episode along with the tutorial or me explaining how I built that in the description. But, yeah, also beacons. I want to beacon everything up, but it's going to take 12 beacons to do all the way. Technically 24 because I would love to have haste 2 and speed 2. So, I don't know. I've done sworn that I would never do a wither skeleton farm, but I mean, the more and more I need beacons, the more and more I'm like, man, I'm getting tired of going to the nether and spending 2 or 3 hours doing that. But anyway, this has been a long recording, so let's get to the shopping district and let's finish out our, this way, down here, of course, and let's finish out or build our new shop. And there it is. We finished the Prison Marine shop. It's the Mega Guardian. And it's very interesting, this design that was actually done by Saquon in Season 1. The eye follows you around because of, like, forced perspective, right? I think that's, like, the most interesting thing about this build. Like, even if we fly away and then fly in, like, the Elder... I mean, it's just going to catch your eye, like, immediately. Like, boom, he's looking right at you, right? You flying in, his eyes following. I think it's pretty neat. Alright, but anyway, let's take a look inside. Pretty bland, I'm not gonna lie. Coming soon, have to get some stock. But for the most part, the shop is pretty much stocked. We're gonna see how much money we can make out off of this this thing for sure. But yeah, so the profits aren't doing so well at the rocket shop. They're not. I don't think we've made a single sale since we opened. Wait a minute, maybe one sale. Nope, not a single sale. We gotta figure out a way to bring customers in. Like, definitely. We definitely made some sales in the bookshop. I still have to finish the back. I'm probably gonna do that maybe on a stream or something. That would be interesting to do with you guys. But yes, let's head back over to the pyramid. I'm gonna show you what I've done over there with the entrance. Okay, so back here at the pyramid, and which is our home. Bam. Not completely finished. Still need a lot more gold blocks, but we'll worry about that in the next episode. But yeah, I got the basic layout done, so we don't have to worry really about structure, I guess you could say. Now it's just adding in details, filling in these sides, kind of like what we did here, but also we're going to do those stair things that I was talking about earlier, where we put the stairs on, we waterlogged them. But most importantly, the biggest change is we have finally, if I can eat, finished the door. And this might not be the finalized door design, I'm not sure, but I figured I would add in some just some, some placeholder blocks. But we press the button, and it opens. Absolute genius, Redstone from Hammer Time. Really appreciate him coming by and doing this for me. We will be switching these out with some gray terracotta, so that it matches kind of the theme here and not red. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the door is pretty much, complete. I think that's like the coolest thing ever. I could never design something like that. It's absolutely wild. Triple piston extenders and stuff like that. It's just, yeah, it's a lot back here, as you can see. A lot of timing issues. But guys, as you can see, we have a lot of plans. I'm starting to lay things out here, and we'll talk about that in the next episode. Alright. I also have a couple of farms that I'm already started working on that I think you guys would very much enjoy seeing. As well as, I'm really going to try my best to keep the descriptions correct as far as like the links to the farms that I make. Most of the farms that I do, okay, are either someone else's entirely, so I built based off of a design, or I build a design. This is most cases. I'll build a design in my creative world completely. Like, for example, the El Mango's, or not El Mango, that's Java Edition. But there's a gold farm we've been looking at. Navy Nexus, there we go, boom. Navy Nexus Quad, the same one we used last time. But this time we got to do it a little different. We have to make sure that we can autocraft all that stuff that comes out of it. So we're having to completely modify the entire bottom half of the system, which we'll talk about in the next episode. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, I really appreciate you guys for watching this episode. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment in the comment section. What can I do better? What are you guys looking forward to seeing in the season? What do you guys want to see more or less? Let me know in the description. I'm trying to make these videos as good as I can for you guys to kind of depict our journey here in Season 5 of Breaking Bedrock. But once again, I really appreciate you for watching. If you made it this far, definitely leave a comment. And yeah, I will see you in the next episode.